Good afternoon, everybody. Or good morning, or good evening, depending on where you might be. Hope you've had a fantastic week so far. And I hope that leads into a even more fantastic weekend. Give me just a sec, still getting a couple things set up. Get started here in just a moment. I'm going to try something new where it's like I immediately just start talking rather than sitting on the starting soon screen for a while. Just so that for VOD watchers, they don't have to like fast forward or jump around a bit. So, just to recap, if you missed last time, what we did last is built the... Well, we worked on the room generator a little bit. We made this backrooms piece here. We might expand on this a little bit more today, and it fit in pretty well with the rest of the room generation. You can see that it used only a handful of the different types of rooms. That'll be fixed later on as more rooms are made. It'll have more variation in them. Right now it only has 4 room types they can pull from, and it only chose to use 3 of them. So, I'll have to tweak these things a little bit more as things go on. Also, that super low frame rate is a little concerning. I don't know whose fault it is. I think it's this room here, the big corridor. I also think it only is an issue like when you're that far out. When you're up close to it, it only, and I think the issue is that it's rendering so many things in frame. You'll notice if I drop back behind here, I go back up to 120. Hey, username, how's it going? And then same thing, if I see it, it takes up a lot of my frames. If it's half covered, I get some of them back. So even though it still exists, it doesn't draw all of it immediately. So one of the things we'll be working on today, and we may or may not get super down to the weeds with like detail, is more room making. Also, I did want to show you what it looks like when you're in cinematic mode, which is like as high as you can get with this. So this is on like the lowest quality setting. Let me also move this light so it's not messing with it. And let's drop to, I hope we don't have Substance Painter running, so this shouldn't kill my setup, but with OBS, we'll see. Gonna change it to cinematic. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna try to play. See, it's a little awkward because I don't have a spawner, but it's also hard to get in the room without it. We'll just do this at 50 FPS. A little bit more jittery than that. I might want to revisit the wallpaper, like actually make some better looking stuff. This was a good, like, a good first pass, but we can see that there's not quite as much detail. I think the roof here is also a little too shiny for, like, the corkboard tiles. Busy and uninspired. Yeah, it comes in waves. So, don't feel too down on yourself. Especially if you try to force it, I feel like you might just end up making things... Oh, I'm also going to drop... I heard the music stop, so we're going to drop the quality back down. I feel like when I'm not inspired, I just can't do good work. Like, even when it's my day job. So, like, sometimes I'll just have to switch to a different thing until the inspiration hits back again. I feel like an hour's worth of work when the inspiration is, you know, fueling the sail is worth about 4 hours worth of work when I'm just trying to force it. Now, in the classic Halloween theme, I do want to... Oh, there are ads running. YouTube, we should be okay though. Is anyone on YouTube? Hi, YouTube viewer. How you doing? Are you? Okay, no, that's good. Didn't know if you could see the stream or not. We're gonna mostly maybe make some Halloween decorations and also work on this new room, which is like an outdoor section that's meant to be like a neighborhood of condos. And I'll explain this in a sec, and then we'll kind of dive into it. I don't want to make the neighborhood stuff, or I don't want to dive into that too much, because I feel like that's going to be a lot of like stopping to look at references and then making small incremental changes. I don't think that's particularly a good workflow for live stream. One thing I do want to add is a fence for this part here, kind of where that cliff face is, and then also towards this space up here. And then each of these individual sections here, like this would be a condo, and then so would the space in between it, so they're all connected to one another. So this is more so just mapping out the distance between them. And then same thing down here. I think a good unit is about 6 meters, or 6 to 7 cells, which each cell is about 2 meters. Did create a creature design, creature in-game design though. Ooh. Oh wait, I think I saw that. Yeah. Let's show it off. That looks sick. I'm excited to show when it gets to the point, and it's very close. I almost spoiled it just now. When it gets to the point where I'm ready to show it off, I'm excited. Ads are done now. Welcome back. Your beautiful art. Your beautiful art is on screen. Full display. So, my plan is we're going to work on this condo scene a little bit more. I'm going to explain how this fits into the rest of the level first, just from a game design perspective. And then we're going to kind of jump into the actual design, like building it out. But the idea is, let's get GIMP up. So we already mentioned how we have the room generator, right? We have these grid-like objects, like Tetris pieces, and the generator fits them together. Now this is a liminal spaces game. Things are meant to be weird. So the idea is, like, there are parts that will look like they extend beyond. So like, either windows going into homes, or like the neighborhood road extends this way, but it's like blocked off with maybe a fence or something. And then also the horizon. But the actual room itself is just this piece here. Now that in and of itself isn't all that interesting. A lot of games do that, but when you look at it on a mini-map, it'll show this room, and then we'll show like maybe another room next to it, and then maybe a hallway there. So while you're inside the room, this might be a window leading into like a condo, and then this might be a horizon going off into the sunset. But you walk around the corner, and it's like, that's not what's there. This can be done with having the full scene exist in the level, but elsewhere. And then in the room that the player's in, kind of on these edges where the borders are, is a texture that's mapped to a camera that's in the real life instance of it, that's casting it to the walls of that room. I don't know how processor heavy this is going to be, but it's also only going to be one room at a time. So I don't think it's too bad. I also haven't gotten a chance to test it yet. It's kind of more so just a design idea. Let's see. Its mouth is stitched up and it's ribbed. And it rips the stitches open to reveal. Ooh. Yeah, that's a really... So, is that one you just kind of did for fun? Or is that a design you're planning on using? We'll pull that design back up. Either way, it's cool. I like it. Okay. Oh, also, while I'm doing this, what's immediately going to follow this, again, I'm not going to work on too much of the detail. We're going to make some fences here. I'm going to make some, like, Halloween decorations. Outdoor Halloween decorations, like decorate the condos with maybe some, like, lamps and stuff. If you have, or I don't know if you just have in your back pocket, but images of, like, early 2000s Halloween decorations. Even better if it's like a liminal feel or a nostalgia aesthetic. And you're in the Discord, go ahead and toss those into the game design channel. I was trying to look at some reference image earlier today, but couldn't find too many good ones. So I have some pulled up right now. Mostly gonna do like string lights and maybe a blow mold or two. We'll see. I might have to... For like actual jack-o'-lanterns, I might do offline because that... I feel like there's probably an easy way to make a pumpkin in Blender, and I don't really want to look it up while I'm live, because it's probably going to be something like you take a sphere, you like select half of the vertical edges, and then you scale it down. Something like that. So like, if I had to guess. Then it's like, oh, click, let's see. Click that, and then like proportional edit. Smooth, and then like pull it down. And then like, let's see. Boom. Good. Really easy way to like... I was just doing this as an example to show how hard it would be, but now I'm dedicated. Pumpkin. See, something like that, but probably like better instructions for it. Also, YouTube is not doing too well. We got 1 view. I tried a new thumbnail. I tried like a backrooms thumbnail. I feel like that did worse. I have an A/B test running on last week's stream to see like what thumbnail does better. Maybe it's not bad. I thought the clickbait would work. Guess I was wrong. Because it's like the same time. Not that like it's super important right now because there's not a whole lot to show off. I think when viewership is going to matter the most is kind of when I do want to start marketing a lot more, and when there is a whole lot more to actually do and show off. But that is not now. So I'm going to make a fence. Let's bring this over to here because I want to make it about the same size as the railing here. Hulu finally got One Piece back. Oh no, that's why they're all gone. I'm not caught up within like the past 2 or 3 weeks, I think. I'm a little behind. Let's make this a nice round number, like 0.7. Ooh. 0.075. Y Z should be 0, I think. No, that's cursor. I want the object. How do I do that? There it is. Z should be 0. Let's see. Do I have walking enabled on this? I do. So that's about the right height for that. This is too tall. Let me take a look at. I have some references on my phone. I'll just gonna look at it for a moment. I don't think I have any. Oh, I do. Okay, it's almost exactly the same size as this guy. Thumbnail doesn't look bad. See, that's what I thought either. That's what I thought too. At least I thought it looked better than the hallway, especially because like that's not the game that I'm working on right now. Technically, I was like, okay, maybe be a little bit more accurate with what we've got going on. But I guess that was the wrong move. Either way, I think the idea that I have is let me pull up the Discord again, because I think you sent an image of something that was pretty good. Yeah, here it is. So my idea for like the game's like Steam page, and also maybe like it's like the thumbnail on YouTube and whatnot, is because the mall acts as like the hub for the majority of the game. Not this angled shot, but one in the center. And then have something in the middle there. I know what it is. But because it's one of those things where it's like I've designed it, but it's not fully complete yet. So I won't talk about it until we get to that point. There are some things I'm keeping close to the chest, but the overall shot that I think would make a good thumbnail is just the mall corridor. And then I think that would also be like a good Steam background image too. We'll see. I don't know like how much progress I've made proportional to what I did last year for the Ghost game. But I feel like I've made more progress quicker than I did last year. Like we've got the level generator already. And we already have more ground covered than I think we did even at the end of last year. There's not a whole lot of content yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a process. If I sound a little bit tired, it's because I am. Usually I like dose up on coffee at like 3 p.m. so that it can last me until about 7. I forgot today. I forgot to do that. So I'm running off of hope. Okay. That looks good. Now, check this out. Bevel is my best friend. Actually, how does the edge bevel look? It might look better if I wait until the end to bevel. So I'm going to use an array modifier. People are probably just sleeping before school tomorrow. I was pretty slow at work as well today. It's just the vibe, I think. Like, summer's just come to an end. Technically, like, in my mind, it ended already. But, like, I think it's catching up to me finally. Now, another question. Initially, I was thinking to make this curved too, which is very easy to do. Like we have here with the sidewalk area. Or does it look better when it's like straight like this? Maybe like a touch of curvature? Just like a touch. Bezier. Oh, hold on. Let's do this. Just for my own sanity, I'm gonna have it start here. Cursor to selected. And then when I add it, it'll add it at the cursor. Depends on what is this model for. It's a self-contained room, which is just like one of the many rooms in the level generator, like essentially the back rooms. So like, or not really back rooms, but more like the liminal spaces thing. So the room itself, it doesn't really serve too much of a purpose. It's more of like it's a hallway. It serves the purpose of a hallway, but it looks like, you know, what's meant to be kind of like a nostalgic neighborhood of some kind. Or even if not nostalgic, just kind of out of place, right? Because just before this, the player was in a mall. Well, technically, we don't know where the player was before this because that part is kind of random. Now, let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think it's deform curve. There it is. Ooh, that's wrong. Well, it's not that. It's the Z on this should not have increased. And the reason I ask with like, should it be straight or not? Sometimes things that aren't out of place feel out of place. That uncanny valley vibe. Like when something is perfect, it feels like it shouldn't be, or feels like it isn't. I wonder if we can add like random deformities in this. I don't like how it zooms out so much. I also don't know what this deformity does. Maybe there's a different one we can use. I was hoping for something like noise, almost. No, I mean, this is just kind of like a crappy bevel, I think. Speaking of... I won't apply this yet, but if I want to see what it looks like, I have to. So we're going to apply it. We're going to see what it looks like when we bevel, and then we're going to undo. Oh, kind of made a mistake here. Alright, hold on. Want to make this the same on this side, so it's got a point to connect to. Shoot. I don't know what I set it to. 0.25? I think it was 0.25. think Backrooms aesthetic is like Frutica era, but it was created by soulless adults. Also probably butchered that pronunciation, but I know what you're talking about. I wonder if I could just like put some like micro bumps in the curve itself, and then like that is the thing. Oh, I already. All right, let's go back a little bit because the curve isn't gonna make a difference now. All right, here we go. Oh, that works. Mm, not exactly what I was trying to do. Let's just hit the undo button on that one. Will this be on Steam? Yep, that's my hope and intention. I've never seen, or I've never uploaded a game to Steam before, so although I know a few people that have, so I can pretty easily reach out and check with them. But yeah. This way. All right, let's see how it looks. I don't know if the... Ooh, okay. I don't know if the bumps make it look better or worse. Or like if this one is too extreme. Let me see. If I copy and paste, what does it do? Does it copy the... No, it doesn't copy the curve with it. Actually, I don't need it to. If I do this, I move this here and I delete these. Oops. Of course, the highlighted one is not the one that I have selected. Wait, what curve is that? Oh, that's the other one. So now I just rotate this one 90. Nope, not that way. Not that way. There we go. 180 actually. Move it here, and then same thing. We gotta just make a curve. I'm going to cursor to selected, add curve. Easier. And then move this like here. Add generate array. Add deform curve. Oh, not exactly what I was thinking would happen. That's not where the curve is. Why can I not click it? Please. Alright. Oh, it's because I'm in edit mode. Why does it keep... Oh. It's because it's back. Oh, alright. It's backwards. It does cost $100 to publish to Steam, yeah. Doesn't matter who you are. Well, actually, that might not be true. They might let some people publish for freezies. I think I just need to rethink this. I don't know why I'm struggling with it so much. All right, let's undo to the point where we made the curve. And now we rotate the curve. Not that way. 180. Now. Now we should be able to do this. Generate array. Add modifier, deform curve. Come on. I know you can do it. I know you can see it. Nice. Nice. Okay. Now we just have to finish. Click. Please. Please let me. Thank you. I'm going back and forth as to like what should happen here. I'm partially thinking like a fence here and then like a brick wall here between like, so a condo would go here. This part would maybe extend a little bit more and then up to like a brick wall. Either way, that's why I'm not applying these modifiers quite yet. Because when I apply them, I'm kind of confirming that that's where, like, it's for sure gonna be, and I just don't know that yet. I just don't know that yet. Back here, click this. Please. Thank you. Z is 0. Z is 0. And then maybe we just have this one without deformity. Give it conformity. There's going to be like a swing set or just like a single slide here. Just so it feels like empty. Planning to release it for free? No, because of the Steam fee. But I'm not going to charge anything insane for it. I'm thinking maybe like 5 USD. And then depending on how much freedom they give me for individual countries, probably lower than that. Like account for the differences. Okay. I think next I want to start working maybe on some props. Yeah, I still think this might be a bit too much. But I'll sit on it. We'll come back to it in a bit. So one of the ideas I had is I was gonna say if you're doing it for free, you should add a supporter bundle for like $5 to $10. And I don't know if there's like a good way to do that through Steam. Maybe as like a DLC, but I think it'll just be easier to do a flat rate. You buy the game, you own it, you get all the features up front. You own the game. CSGO cases? Oh no, don't talk to me about that. So let me talk kind of an idea that I had. Part of like the nostalgia feel that everybody experiences is like usually surrounding the holidays. And so something that I was thinking of is like we'll use this room as an example, right? This room might have 3 variations. One is standard. Let's see how well I can write. Just do standard. One is Halloween, like at night. And then the next one is Christmas at night. Now the difference between these 3 is just purely aesthetic. But the idea is that when you enter it and you leave it, the next time you come back, it might have switched to a different one. And then, I don't know how frequently that would happen. Probably like... I don't know. I think it would depend on how often the player visits the room, because I wouldn't want it to change super often. I would want it to maybe be like a timed thing. Like when you enter the room, it has like an internal timer. And then after about like, I don't know, 10 minutes, it changes. So, working on, because it's Halloween, let's work on some Halloween decorations. I'm thinking initially the easiest one are probably just some like string lights. And I don't know if we want to do like designed string lights or just like the classic C9 or even just like the small one. Because there's a couple designs. So like, let's say this is our string. We could do like the classic, you know, one of those. We could do like, this is kind of more like what you'd see. That's got more of a point. Yeah, like that. Or we could do a little bit more festive, and it's like this, but then it's like, I don't know, it's got like a bat shape on it. Because that's how bat feet look. And then maybe the next one's a different one. Maybe the next one's like, I don't know, a spider. Because this is what spiders look like. And then the next one is a pumpkin. And maybe it's got like the pumpkin eyes. Yeah. So, a few different options. I'm also open to hearing what y'all have to think. Giant 17-foot tall skeleton. I am no longer open to hearing what y'all have to think. No, I'm kidding. Audience participation time. There are 4 of you here. Have we all suddenly become illiterate? School started again. This is the opportunity to relearn how to word, how to use words good. I believe in you. No? Okay. I also have like a bunch of Halloween pictures pulled up of just like Christmas Halloween decorations. One of them are like micro blow molds, so kind of like this one, but rather than being flat, it's like spherical. I have seen the pumpkin light IRL. This one? I'm not gonna lie to you, I have some. I'm not gonna lie to you, part 2, I put them up already. I put them up already. The classic one, obviously, is like the jack-o'-lantern, right? But that's more of like, again, goes back to our initial problem of I need to learn how to make a pumpkin good in Blender. This is a 2D shape. That's the 3rd arrow on it. That's probably simple enough. I could just like trace it from like a public domain pumpkin image. Another one is like these pumpkin like path lights where it's like on this pole and then it's a pumpkin on top. Again, it's a pumpkin shape, which I don't know how to do. But I want to make these 2 at some point. Another thing I saw was kind of like same thing with like a path decoration, but it's just like a piece of like poster paper, like cardboard, with like spooky things drawn on it, like pumpkins. That's my pumpkin. It's like a pumpkin patch, and then you would just like put it on the edge of the sidewalk. Here's the sidewalk, and then you just like kind of put it on there. Feeling festive, are we? It's Halloween. Like, look. Hold on, I did math bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? These are the months of the year. These 2, awesome. Summer, let's see. Like this one. Actually, no. May and June, and then even July, right? Awesome. Summer's cool. It gets hot, but you don't have school. And then there's a lot more fun things to do. Even if you don't go to school, there's like, I don't know, like theme parks are open later. There's more like activities. These months suck. Nothing exciting happens. A bunny shows up at some point, I think. I don't know. And then these, well, like, you've obviously got Halloween here. I say Halloween can last for 3 months. That way you have a majority of the year is something festive. These months, this is just like the filler episode. January to the month before May. I don't even remember its name. That's how forgettable they are. Sorry, by the way, if you were born anywhere between January to the month before May. Nothing personal. You know what's really spooky, though? No, tell me. Anyway, I'm looking at more Halloween decorations while you're typing away. Oh, I should watch, like, old Goosebumps TV episodes. And, like, see... Like, that's peak 90s and 2000s. And then see kind of, like, what Halloween things they had. There's, like, they did a lot of Halloween episodes, didn't they? Maybe I should type in 90s Halloween decorations. I typed in 2000s, but I don't think that was good enough. A lot of blow molds. Okay, I think we start with the string lights, and I think that we start simple with just like these ones. What's more common? I wonder. Hold on. I will continue Googling. Don't touch that dial now. A giant 17-foot tall skeleton. I can't make a skeleton. Let's see. I googled like classic 90s and 2000s Halloween decorations. So flat plastic hanging decorations like bats, witches, ghosts, spiders. Orange jack-o'-lantern string lights. We kind of talked about that a little bit. Purple, orange, incandescent mini lights, not LED. Fake spider webs, I remember those, but I feel like that is too advanced for me to try to make in Blender. That might be like maybe a fancy Unreal Engine thing I can do. Jointed cardboard deck. Ah, see? I told you about the cardboard. That was the thing. Plastic window clings. Plastic skeletons. Always the skeletons. Garland. That's another one. Okay, let's do the, let's go with this design. Let's go with this design. Let's make it in Blender. Oh, this is not Blender. This is Unreal Engine. For those of you tuning in, look, we made a back room. Now we're making more liminal spaces. That's like, that was me jingling the keys to keep people entertained and sticking around. Back rooms. I said it. I said the thing. I said it. Okay. It's going to be part of this level, but I feel like this is all going to distract me, so we're going to hide this. Jingle, jangle, jingle. Exactly, exactly. Okay. Oh boy, what do bats look like? Oh no. Hold on, there's got to be... Let's go back to ArtV, which is the public domain image site that we use. ArtV. This surely won't get me... Is there anything on the screen that'll get me demonetized? Okay, no. Let's see if I can switch to ArtV without, like... Okay. Halloween. Let's see what shows up. Saw some the other day when I was hanging out with your friends at 12:30 at night. Some real bats? What is this? Nobody can steal my gate. 'Cause I haven't any? Oh, is this a political thing? Uh-oh. 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 Abort. Abort. Bat. Oh, here we go. That's a good one. While I look for bat images. Oh, what's the timestamp? That one's getting cut out. 59 minutes. Whoops. Oh man, public domain images are wacky and wild. Here, let me let's boom. There you go. Look at the ghost. The ghost is also not safe for work. Surely nothing else was going on there. Just bats. Just bats. Alright, I'm just gonna take that first one that looked okay-ish enough. And we're gonna roll with that one. We're gonna roll with that one. Pictures, bat.jpg. Okay. Let's rotate it. Nope. 90. I think that's about symmetrical. Okay, now we're gonna add mesh cube. Where did my cube go? Why is it all the way over there? Oh, that's why. Let's also orient this correctly. Okay. Let's try to get this to be a bit more symmetrical. Like that. Then we're gonna cut this in half. We're going to delete these vertices. Then we're going to add a mirror. There we go. Man, I did an awful job trying to make this symmetrical. Hold on. Username Storytime. One time when I was 7, I stole my brother's shoe and threw it down a hill. Then later it was getting late. My brother finally realized I threw a shoe down a hill that was like fenced off and stuff. And little me didn't think of any consequences, so I had to find the shoe in the pitch black night with bats and mosquitoes. Honestly, I'd be more afraid of the mosquitoes than the bats. Those things are awful. I hate them. Oh, how do I do the ear with this method? Oh, idea. We went through a lot to get this bat. bats eat mosquitoes? I always wondered what the natural predator of a mosquito was. I always just kind of wanted to find out what it was and just let them loose in my house. Oh no! These? This is what I meant to do. Bats don't need feet, right? Like, if you had a bat-shaped thing and it didn't have bat feet, you still could tell it was a bat, right? Hold on, I have like these exact same lights. Give me a second. I'm gonna go take a look if it's got feet or not. I can confirm bats do not have feet. Whoever designed this bat, they clearly did not consult with my Halloween decoration lights. And it shows. My bat's also a lot more spiky. And cartoony. I will say though, like the spikes on the bat's wings, like it does this a lot on the wings. It makes it so insanely annoying because it gets stuck on the rest of the string lights. And it gets tangled. But there we go. Bat acquired. What's the next shape? A ghost? Classic Halloween icon? Pumpkin, skeleton. I don't think a skeleton would look good on the lights. I think bat, ghost, pumpkin. Does anyone disagree? I feel like those are the classic ones. So, enjoy staring at this bat while I go back to Art V. You aren't coming with me this time. You are not coming with me this time. You're staying right there. You can see what things I type. Look, ooh, I typed the word ghost to search for it. Man, all of these ghosts suck. What is that? The Ghost King. Here, I'll show you this. What is this? They need a quality inspection on the bat pronto. Skeleton. Oh man. Skeleton will have his time. Make no mistake. Take me with you, please. No, you're staying in Blender land. And lest we see another bat. I'm sorry to say, I don't think there's a cartoon ghost. There aren't any bats. That's a good thing. Um, what was the other one? Oh, pumpkin. Ah, yes. My favorite pumpkin, the apple. Awesome. They don't have any pumpkins either. ArtV has let me down. All right, I need to find a new public domain image site. Public domain images. Ghost. Maybe I should type cartoon ghost. It's not that a ghost shape is hard to draw. I might just, like, freeball it. When was the cartoon ghost invented? This has me questioning myself. Was it so recent that it doesn't exist in like public domain art? Like the old public domain art? Oh. Thanks, music. Okay. Nope, no ghosts on this site either. How about pumpkins? Ghost clip art, but usually clip art people own it. Like there's copyright on it. No pumpkins either. Alright, we're gonna just free ball a ghost. Go ahead and we'll move you all away. Actually, we'll keep it close, so it's about the same size. I really should have seen how much I scaled this down. Does anybody remember? I suppose I can just check. Yes. The round number. 0.135242. Can I even, like, scale that? That's actually pretty close. No one's gonna notice if they're like slightly different. Nope, this part wasn't graded. The cartoon adaptation is probably not super old. Like, it's probably inspired by Walt Disney's style of Ghost. Google time. When was the classic cartoon Ghost shape made? Late 1930s to 1945. So if that's true, and the public domain art that we were looking at only exists because it's over 100 years old, then we've got another 5 years until ghosts become public domain. It was popularized when they conceived of Casper the Friendly Ghost in 1939. 1930s is crazy. They just didn't they just didn't get haunted back then. They were built different. The generation of today, weak. Ghosts back then didn't want anything to do with boomers. To be fair, neither does anybody of this generation. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. What are the chances that a boomer is watching this, though? Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Probably pretty low, right? Unless they really like mediocre game development. Now that would be a horror. Should the ghost have his arms up? Like, all right, here's what I'm thinking. Let's draw this out. Like that? Or like more of like a Pac-Man ghost. What do we think? What do we feel? Copy this. Probably no arms. Interesting. Okay. I respect it. Lucky. Welcome back, man. It's been a minute. Maybe I should bring that image in. Because now that I'm trying to, like, eyeball it, I just can't for the life of me. Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll make a new one. Oh, gross. Give me the green background, please. Image. Let's drop the image size. Just like a 1080 by 1080. Just a nice, clean square. No worries. Just good to see you. Good to have you drop in for a bit. Hope all's going well. Now I can't make a ghost. Oh, that's so close. I'm afraid to undo that. Mouth or no mouth? No, he just looks like a bowling ball with a mouth. Ghost Jot JPEG. What? Gave me an error message. Image. Oh, it's because I'm in edit mode. Ghost. Boo. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Using 1080 by 1080. Use 128 by 128. Look, desperate times call for desperate measures. I need all the pixels I can get. Okay? Who are you to tell me that I can't have 1080 pixel? Huh? Let's see, side by... Ooh. I was going to say side by side with the bat. I think this should be a bit bigger. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Okay, now we're cooking, I think. Although I can't use symmetry on this one. Wait, should it be symmetrical or do we want it to be asymmetrical, do you think? Because we can use symmetry if we really want to. I guess it's not like super impossibly difficult to just see how it looks, and then if we don't like it, we can just add the other side. Have a good one, Lucky. Hard drive would explode trying to handle that many pixels. I don't know. Sounds like one of them skill issues. Speaking of exploding computer devices, my screen keeps going black. I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know what's going on. I keep thinking it's like a driver issue. Then again, I do have like a super janky PC setup. Oh, shoot. At least with my monitors. That's probably why. I probably can't complain too much. How do I do this? This tail bit. I have to like split. Um, edge, subdivide. Okay, what do we think? What do we think? Check how your monitor's plugged in? Oh, maybe. Like it might be a loose cable or something. That does look like a ghoul. We can cut out the eyes too. I'm just curious, like, should it be asymmetrical and like we make this side longer in like a weird way? Also, I think I know why it's doing this. It's because these faces exist when they shouldn't. I think I might be bumping it. I'm not conscious enough to know, to be perfectly honest. Dang, we're actually making surprisingly good time. Okay. We're gonna apply this. And same thing here. All of these duplicate faces we're gonna get rid of. And we're going to apply this. And then we're going to make eyeballs real quick. So we're going to add a cylinder. Shrink it down. Rotate. I probably should have waited to do symmetrical. I can still just do this. Generate Boolean. Why not? There it goes. Wait, what? Oh. I didn't apply it. I used way... Hold on. I don't need that many vertices. Let's redo this. Add mesh cylinder. We're just gonna shade smooth a lot of this anyway. Scale it up a little. The bat is pretty large. Gotcha. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Actually, what happens if I just squish? Probably pretty close. I know that titles are the last thing to make, but what are some ideas? I already have the title. But of the handful of things that I keep close to my chest for this, that is one of them. Not because I think it's a particularly great title, but because it spoils something that I said I was holding off until it was done. Not that the thing I'm holding off is great either. But no, the game's got a title. It's titled already. Honestly, I think the title came at about the same time the idea did. Okay, I think it's time now to try to make a pumpkin. Or, oh, you got hit with ads. That's the perfect time for me to go hunt for a pumpkin online. I don't know if that's something I'm going to be able to draw. How about if I type Halloween? No, I gotta... Is there another public domain art site? Doesn't have anything either. Domain. Pumpkin images. Honestly, I could probably just draw it in GIMP, and then with the with us making it symmetrical, I think it would look good. Welcome back. Give me a sec. I'm gonna look at the pumpkin light again that I have just to get an idea, and then we're gonna make it in GIMP because I couldn't find one. Okay, I'm back. It's pretty much just an oval. It's it's an oval with like some indenting in it. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, I don't think I need to draw that out because I can just get a cylinder. Well, we can bump this up a little bit. 12 is good. That way we can make it symmetrical. Yeah, pumpkins were made in 1943. I'm pretty sure the pumpkins we know now are different than what they had many, many moons ago. And as I Googled this, I am wrong. I thought there was something like that, where it's like, it's actually a relatively new thing that people made. Pumpkins used to be poisonous to humans, no? You got me there. I haven't the slightest idea. As much as I hate to admit, I am unfortunately not a pumpkinologist. I know. I know. I'm sad about it too. I wish I was. Hmm. I forgot to make the cut first. Can I not loop cut around this? I mean, that's fine. I can just use the knife tool. It's just more inconvenient. I thought better of you. So do most people. Hmm. I think I have to subdivide this. Drag this over. I might need to wait until I bring that back together, though. But I mean, like, what is this shape if not the pumpkin shape, right? So, we'll add the, we'll add the eye and maybe the mouth? But the nose will have to wait till it gets merged. I think what I want is honestly a cylinder, but with 3 sides. And that gets me the cone that I want. Issue is, this is a weird angle that I don't want. How do I fix this? What is this? 90. Oh, nice. 90, 90. Scale. Too big? Okay. How do we make the pumpkin face? Like the mouth. Or do we not need it? Like if this was a little bit of a stem, I feel like we gotta have the pumpkin mouth. Okay, I think we have. I think I found a good way to do it. I think I've got a good way to do this. Okay. We're gonna have to backtrack a bit to before we did the Boolean. We're going to mirror. We're gonna apply. We're gonna make a copy of this. Make sure it's copied. Then we're gonna go back and undo that. And then paste our copy. Bring this out. We'll have a new like micro workspace here, a couple increments out. Make another copy, move it up. Make it a bit bigger. Then let's do Pumpkins used to be extremely bitter and meant for prehistoric animals. Also, an extinct till humans selectively bred pumpkins to be less bitter to feed livestock and eventually humans. Ooh. The pumpkin lore comes to light. Honestly, let's be real. Pumpkin is definitely a... it's an acquired taste. I feel like most people don't actively be like, ooh, pumpkin, from the get-go. I feel like you gotta grow into it. I recognize that this isn't gonna look perfect, but I think that's just something I gotta live with. Ah, wait. I forgot to apply it. Oh, come on, I didn't mean to destroy that. Okay. Now I think we're cooking. Apply that. Oh, I don't think I need this. Mirror. Oh, wait, what? Cancel. We didn't apply the boolean. Now we can mirror. I've one complaint about pumpkin, and that it's store-bought pumpkin pie. That's always nasty without whipped cream. You can't go for pumpkin pie. You gotta go for like the other weird, like pumpkin pastries, like the cookies and whatnot. What happens if you don't make a game by Halloween? I self-destruct. Yeah, it's sad. Happened last year too. But honestly, I'm making better progress than I did last year, so I'm kinda hopeful. Even if maybe I shouldn't be. I've also given myself enough of a head start this time. Okay. Not looking too bad. Damn, yeah, that's sad. Unavoidable, though. So, just gotta do what I can. And that I think its head is too big. Am I allowed to say that? Nice, okay. How's the scale for all these look? Like, these are meant to be string lights. I think the ghost is a bit too small. Okay. Let's do another thing. Let's, before I forget, sharpen the edges. Oh, come on. The alt-click didn't work? Okay, it kind of works. I also want to make these sharp also. Like the teeth bit. Everything else here can stay smooth. Probably should. Same thing with these guys. Be a lot easier to notice what I missed when we shade it. Because really the only thing I don't want sharp are these edges. Everything else should be sharp. This is definitely like an awkward way to try to do that. Here, let's just hide this. Because we're missing this side too. Get some sleep, username. You have a good night. Everyone's information pumpkin spice of any kind is just nutmeg. I thought it was cinnamon. So for those of you sticking around, hello, hello. Shade smooth. Nice. Hopefully this one... alt clicks well. Seems like it. And then same thing on this side. And let's see, shade smooth. Did I miss something? I did. Looks pretty good. Missed an edge here. The ghost looks kind of weird. I wonder if there's like a vertex that I missed. No, it didn't merge any. Oh, that's close enough. Okay, we have the shapes. I'd hate to just end here though, because we are at 2 hours. So let's at least... get like a string that goes across them. We're gonna add a cylinder. Something super simple like a pentagon. Small enough to be like a wire. Oh, come on. Well, let's start this at, so x is 0. Y should also be 0. And then move these so that it's like right there. You'll go up. This is just for like testing. I think what I'll likely do tomorrow is like get something to actually hang down and touch them. But for tonight, just so we've got something before we end. Just do something super simple. And we'll go ahead and move this so that they've got enough space. Okay, and then make a copy. And we'll move them over here. And then with the copy, we'll join. Recalculate outside. He got flipped. And then let's see. Let's see how an array modifier looks. Okay, that loops pretty cleanly. Let's go ahead and unhide everything else. OMS! How you doing, man? Didn't expect to see you this late. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. How's your game coming along? Been a minute since I think I've seen too much new about it. Although I remember looking at the store or Steam store page somewhere recently. A bit late because I was on a call. My girlfriend. I had to go. Well, she had to go, so I decided to hop on stream. Good. I'm more important. Okay, no. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But cool, man. Your game is going. Yeah, that's... I mean, look. If it's any consultation, I've been working on the same game since 2024. And I've, like, changed the project, like, 4 times. And made, like... I've made spin-offs to the game that will release before the main game does. So I think you're at least doing better than me, because you've got something out already. You've also got a Steam page. That's something I need to figure out how to do at some point. This is how I decorate my house. I don't quite have the best understanding of how curves work yet. I'm learning though. Figuring it out. This ghost is a little goofed. But that's the general concept. Oh, the screen's on starting soon? Shoot. I was doing this whole thing with like lines and stuff. There's a hotkey. You know what? Before I leave tonight, because we're going to wrap up, I was doing this stuff. I don't know how long it's been on that. The past 5 minutes or so? So there's, I think I have it set to a hotkey and I forgot what it was. So let me Google what that, or not Google, let me go into my settings. Numpad minus. Yeah, that doesn't. I need to take it off of that. I just don't know what a good, like, what a good, and it's back. It's back to numpad minus. There it goes. All right. I mean, I usually only stream for about 2 hours anyway. So this is about where I do wrap up. We made the fences. I still don't know how I feel with like the weird curvature going on down there. At least like not the vertical one. The horizontal one I think is okay. So I might straighten that all out. See. I don't know. It could also just be like, because this is like a liminal spaces game. It could just be like worth it to keep it in. Okay. Not a whole lot was done tonight. Well, we did the fences and we did the Halloween lights. These are, I initially planned for these to be on the houses here, but I don't hate them being on the lampposts. Maybe I'll make a new design to put on the lampposts. Okay, I'm going to save this before I forget. And now, we wrap up for real. I will likely be live next Wednesday. We'll see. I might take a break. Like a week break, and then keep working on some stuff. We'll see, we'll see. If you're in the Discord, I'll let y'all know the day before if I'm going to be streaming or not. I think that's about all I've got. So, progress has been pretty good. Strong start for that, like, first week when I got the room generator done. then it's kind of slowed down a bit. So we'll see if I can pick the momentum back up again. But 73 days left. Next time I see you all, it'll be what? 66? Hold on. I'm gonna sound like an idiot if I got that wrong. 73 minus. Aha! 66 days. So, I will see you in about a week or two. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good night.